more than a dozen cars vandalized.
I mean, I saw a bunch of swastikas. It was just the most shocking.
And tonight, drivers aren't just calling this an inconvenience. They say the hate has to stop.
I was very surprised. It's rude and inconvenience.
Plus, a man with love for his family and those he swore to serve and protect, honored and remembered today.
You'll hear that he was a great cop, he was a gentleman, that he was a hero. Those are all true.
The community comes together to give Officer Gordon Beasley a final farewell.
Frustration over sky-high water bills prompts a recall election in Westminster. The ballots are out tonight, and we're digging into both sides of the issue.
Good evening, and thank you for watching Denver 7 News at 10. I'm Ann Trujillo.
And I'm Shannon Ogden. We're glad you're with us tonight. Symbols of hate, racist messages spray painted on more than a dozen cars in a Denver neighborhood today.
Police are now investigating and trying to track down the person or people responsible. Denver 7 CB Cotton caught up with drivers left cleaning off the hate.
The neighborhood streets we use to get from point A to point B became a place to clean and convene on Tuesday.
We're out here passing supplies.
Supplies to remove the swastikas and other hate-filled messages that were spray painted on various cars around the intersection of South Logan Street and Cedar Avenue.
My husband's car was spray painted.
With the words "Made in Mexico," Jennifer Michaels shared this photo of the vandalism.
They hit everybody and just try to really just cause some ruckus, which they have. I mean, everyone in the neighborhood is really quite concerned on what happened.
One of the tags saying "Land of Nazi," another saying "N-word Nazi." Headlights and license plates were also vandalized.
My license plate, my temp tag actually got spray painted. I was very surprised. It's rude and inconvenience. It's an inconvenience to people who work hard, and I didn't know that they would take it that far.
Denver police tell us at least 15 vehicles were vandalized and that officers are investigating. No arrests have been made. The words left behind send a clear message to those who specialize in understanding behavior.
For now, we label them as bias-motivated incidents.
Dr. April Alexander, a clinical and forensic psychologist, says it's less about who did the vandalism and more about why they did it.
Regardless of who it was, it's the intent. The intent was to cause fear in our community, and that's exactly what it's doing. So regardless of who it is, that's the purpose of this, and this is what's causing so much division in our community right now.
And I think that's just what they wanted. They just wanted to upset a big group of people the best way that they could.
CB Cotton, Denver 7.
And we took a deeper look at bias-motivated incidents here in Colorado, and these are incidents that target someone because of their race or religion, their LGBTQ status. We found out between 2018 and 2019, there was a 74% increase in hate crimes nationwide.
Coming off a weekend of 2 mudslides, we warned you of more potential road closures through Glenwood Canyon, and this afternoon traffic was again detoured between Glenwood Springs and Dotsero. I-70 in both directions just reopened in the last 90 minutes. And today, the National Weather Service issued a flash flood warning for the area near the Grizzly Creek burn scar area. So, CDOT closed I-70 just out of an abundance of caution. And we could see more of these closures as more rain moves through the area this week. So, if you are heading west, do plan ahead.
He was a police officer, a friend, a musician, a cyclist. In addition to all of this, he was kind, he was caring, he was humble. You'll hear that he was a great cop, he was a gentleman, that he was a hero. Those are all true.
A final farewell to Officer Gordon Beasley today, an Arvada police officer murdered in the line of duty last week. He is remembered as a man with a big heart, a goofball, and a true hero. A memorial service was held at Flatiron Community Church in Lafayette today, and those who spoke about Officer Beasley gave us a glimpse into his life and the love he had for his family. We learned more about the impact he left on students while working as a school resource officer. And friends say they will cherish the memories.
Some of my favorite conversations were early on when we both started having kids. Oh, would we laugh. Who would have thought of 2 grown men carrying guns would be talking about changing diapers as much as we did? Or about when our babies would cry in the middle of the night and we would both fake being asleep until our wives would get up.
Officer Beasley spent 19 years with the Arvada Police Department. And hundreds of people lined the procession route this morning to pay their respects to this fallen officer. The community just wanted to say thank you. Thank you to a man who dedicated his life to protecting a community, and a man who meant so much more than just a person in a uniform.
Seeing it one time is enough, and then you have to see it a couple months later again. And even explaining to the kids when they see the news coverage and why we're here, they don't fully understand. They're too young to truly understand.
Every day they face dangers and the possibility of not making it home to their family.
It's heart-wrenching. It's heartbreaking. There's a plethora of emotions.
Officer Gordon Beasley leaves a wife and 2 boys.
And if you couldn't make it out today and you would like to support Officer Gordon Beasley and his family, you can donate to the Colorado Fallen Hero Foundation. It's cofallenhero.org. The Beasley family will receive also any mementos left outside the memorial at City Hall.
A fight over high water rates is boiling over and now prompting a recall election in Westminster. In fact, just this week, ballots were mailed out to residents.
Some say this recall, though, is about more than just water rates, but rather a push to break a political divide among city leaders. Denver7's Sloan Dickey is looking at both sides tonight.
This was about water.
What do water rates and a Westminster City Council member's recall have in common?
The other projects didn't affect my life, didn't affect my finances, but water did.
Debbie Teeter says they're linked, saying her water bills have spiked over recent years and she wants council to pay a price too.
In 2018, my bill for the same month and the same usage was $280. Then last year at that same time, same usage, was $518. So almost doubled from 2018 to last year.
In 2019, the city raised water rates on its top users significantly. The goal was to conserve water and to help pay for upgrades to an aging water system.
We're not trusting that the projects that they're doing aren't really for this future Westminster, not for us, and that we're building it on our backs.
Teeter helped start the Westminster Water Warriors in an effort to recall city council members who voted to increase the rates. Now, one city council member, John Voles, is up for a recall vote just 5 months before his election. In a statement to Denver7, Voles highlighted his frustration with the vote, saying he was not even on city council when the vote to increase rates took place.
It is residents' right to try a recall. I don't think it's warranted.
Westminster Mayor Anita Seitz did vote for the rate increase in 2018 and says water is a necessity worth paying for.
And I believe in science. We were shown that our system was in a state of disrepair. In order to make sure that we can continue to provide this precious resource to our residents, we had to make investment.
She believes that the current water debate flows from a divisive political one.
I do believe some of the national rhetoric, some of that argumentativeness has trickled down into Westminster.
Ballots were sent out for the recall of John Voles on Monday. His recall election is set for July 20th.
I am looking for someone to listen to us, someone to not discount the residents.
As the political divide in Westminster continues to boil.
This is a data-driven decision based on the value of wanting to protect the community's health.
Sloan Dickey, Denver7.
The trial that could have determined the next owner of the Denver Broncos has been vacated after a motion was filed by both sides. And this could mean a settlement's in the works, but nobody's commenting tonight. And before Pat Bowlen died, he created a trust to name one of his 7 children to take over team ownership. But Bowlen's oldest daughters, Amy and Beth, claim the Pat Bowlen Trust should have never been formed because their father was not in the right mind to sign off. As you know, Pat Bowlen died 2 years ago from Alzheimer's. Beth Bowlen Wallace doesn't believe the Bowlen children can agree on a sibling to run the team, so she wants to sell it. But Pat's widow and Brittany Bowlen want to keep the team in the family, and I promise you we'll keep close tabs on this one.
A win today for the residents pushing to make the La Alma Lincoln Park neighborhood a historic cultural district. The neighborhood that sits behind the Santa Fe Arts District has been around since the 1880s, and today the Denver Landmark Commission approved the plan, so it now goes before the full city council later on this summer. Residents in this predominantly Latino neighborhood say this is an area rich in history and was truly the heart of the Denver Chicano movement. They want to see it preserved and safe from development. Now, if City Council approves the Historic Cultural District, homes would have to follow certain design protocols so the look and feel of the area stays the same.
For the next generation, that means I cannot buy a house and use the equity to send my kids to school.
A hot housing market and investors are going all in.
It's another tool to help people get into housing.
The push to buy single-family homes and turn them into rentals. What this means for inventory, buyers, and the impact it could have on the market.
Plus, relief for millions of Americans who spend thousands of dollars on life-saving diabetes drugs. Well, tonight, the affordable alternative about to hit the market.
Still some scattered storms out there, and it looks like a fair amount of thunderstorm activity in the 7-day.